I'm a psychologist and I'm going to explain to you how to become happy. All right, got Microsoft Paint open here. Let's go. Step one. Step one to becoming happy is change. Now, what the heck does this mean? Well, if I start outlining to you all the different steps to become happy and your mind starts resisting them. So, for example, you might say to yourself, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I'm not going to do that, or oh, that's a silly idea, then it's unlikely you'll become happy. In order to become happy, you have to address one of the underlying fundamental processes in improvement, which is a willingness to change. So, if I start outlining different things that will improve your happiness and your mind goes straight to no, then you may as well just stop watching the video now, basically. But if you're opening up this video from the position of, okay, this is time, this is it, I'm ready to go, I'm over feeling this way, I'm over things being the same, I'm over life sucking away all the energy and happiness and joy from me, I am rearing to go. And if you're approaching this video from a perspective of maybe, then let's go, let's continue. Now, for the people that are approaching this video from a position of resistance, you probably already clicked away by now, but if you haven't, that's good, because I can actually give you a strategy in order to overcome this sense of no right off the get-go. So if you're struggling to want to change, then what you can do is you can outline the pros and the cons of staying the same. So in other words, if I stay the same, how is this good for me? And how could this be bad for me? My writing's not the best, but doctor's handwriting and I'm not a doctor. So I'll leave you with that one for you can ponder on that. You know, if you don't want to change, then how is that good for you? Well, it probably isn't good for you. But if you want to change and how is that bad for you? Well, in this context, it's actually really, really good for you. So anyway, I'll leave you with that one. So that's step one. You have to actually approach it from a willingness to be a little bit open-minded. Okay, so once we've got that out the way and you're approaching it from a position of maybe, or let's do this thing, step two is to understand really the predictors of happiness. So there's a lot. So we'll just go through a few that I have used in therapy to really help clients. So one of the biggest predictors of happiness across the lifespan is social connections. All right, so social connections. So what does this kind of mean more simply? It means family and friends. Okay. Right off the bat, if you're thinking to yourself, my family doesn't like me, my family hurt me, or my friends don't like me, or my friends hurt me, or I have no friends, then we can use that as information to develop the intervention and develop the strategies, okay? So it's unlikely that this social connection dilemma is a catastrophic failure. And there is always room for improvement. There's always room to wiggle. And this is where really an individualized assessment is sort of really needed to understand, well, if you're saying your family is a no-go, well, is it all family? Is there an auntie or an uncle or a grandparent? Is there the possibility that you haven't contacted one of them, or that you don't know what they're like, or that maybe things have changed a little bit in the family dynamics and maybe you might be able to rekindle with family that you once were disconnected from? Is it possible that you only need to see family once a month, for example, and that if you thought the idea was that you had to see them every day and love them every day and all that sort of stuff, well, maybe that could be a goal to move towards, but at the moment you just might want to see if you can sort of tinker with the sort of engagement schedule, so to speak, so that maybe it's something like once a month or once every couple of months. You know, you sort of got to investigate to sort of find your threshold of how much you can re-engage with family. Okay, so I'll just put threshold here. Similar principle applies to friends. Maybe there's ones that you haven't talked to in a while, so can you sort of rekindle with old ones, for example? And of course, Can you make new friends? Is there an avenue for new friends, including online? So for guys, it can be video games, like Discord, I guess. Girls, girls can jump on Discord as well and play video games and socialize that way. There could be, sporting groups, clubs, and all that sort of stuff around. Club sports is usually really a good one. Maybe a book club or something. You'll be able to find your community, right? Because that's what it really boils down to, is finding your community, finding your herd of people. Okay, so right off the bat, it's not always black and white. It's not always, well, that guy on the internet said I gotta improve my connections with my family, but they all hate me and I all hate them and all that sort of stuff. So no, this is not going to work. It's about recognizing the shades of grey within the black and white. There's always a middle ground. There's always a bit of wiggle room, even if it's just once every couple of months. It can be a way to reestablish a connection with someone that's important. Okay. Next facet that's really critical in happiness is sleep. Simply put, depending on your age, it's about 7 to 9 hours, as per current research, a night. There's a bit of wiggle room to go down to 6, and maybe a bit of wiggle room to go up to 10, depending on age and genetics and biology, but as general rule, 7 to 9. And within this is really just a big colloquial sort of term for really physical health in general. Super duper important. Diet, sleep, and exercise. No ways around this one. Exercise is actually a huge mitigating factor against unhappiness. So that can look like 30-minute walk a day, or 30-minute walk every couple of days. Exercise, super duper important. And then diet, right? So one of the best diets at the moment is called the Mediterranean diet. I can't spell Mediterranean, to be honest, so I'm just going to go MD. Mediterranean diet consists of things like fish, lentils, and beans. Right? One of the best diets available right now as per current research. Okay, so super straightforward here. Don't need to spend too much time on it. Okay, number 4. Life should be rewarding, or maybe let's go, life should be fun. There should be elements of fun in life. So seek out some entertainment if you don't. If you sort of stay in the one place, which might be your bedroom, might be your bed, on your phone, doom scrolling, or being sort of engaged with different social medias, and if that isn't actually fun, but that is actually harmful, if it feels harmful, which it probably is, then seek some fun. It can be as simple as get out of bed. It can be as simple as go for walk. It can be as simple as try something new. Movie, maybe. Watch the movie in a new location. Instead of watching it in your bed, watch it in a new location, okay? You want to sprinkle a bit more fun into life, okay? And you can choose to do this. There are things that you can do at home that you might find fun, like watching a movie in a new location at a minimum, okay? I think I'm running out of a bit of space here. Let's zoom out. Can I bring this down? I think I can. Well, it's going to get a bit limited in space. I might have to delete all of this in a sec. All right, let's zoom back in. Now, next one is kind of related to number 4, but I'm going to give it its own slot because it's a bit of a higher level one, which is to achieve. You want to feel a sense of success. You want to try to do something that results in you getting that sense of satisfaction, that sense of completion. So what this really ties into is set a goal. Now, we can be more specific here. We can go, you can set a goal for today. So one thing you want to achieve today, one thing you want to achieve in 7 days, and one thing you want to achieve in 30 days. So you could see this really as not low, sorry. It's not low, it's short term. So we just go short term goal, medium term goal, long term goal. And these can change. Short could become 3 days, medium could become 30, and long term could become, eventually you would go maybe a year, right? Build some direction. If that's too much, if 3 is too many, just start with the short-term goal. What do you want to achieve today? Today, I want to get out of bed. Or today, I want to take the garbage out. Something that can result in you developing a sense of, I have achieved, I have done something, okay? And then you keep building on from that. So you might do the trash today, and tomorrow all of a sudden you might be like doing the dishes. Or then tomorrow you might feel like you might want to apply for a job, I suppose, right? You keep building on to that. Now, this achievement and goal stuff, you shouldn't stop. So maybe I should write this one in red. Don't stop. Keep setting a goal and keep setting more and keep facilitating a forward push in direction in life. Okay, super important. Keep going. So always set at least one thing. If you sort of stagnate, that can restart the unhappiness cycle. We don't want that. So keep setting goals. Okay. Next one. I'm going to just delete all of this. I'm just going to delete all of this. Let's go. Oh, crap. What number was that up to? 6. All right. What is that? 6. Remove negativity. This is a hard one. Remove negativity. Because each person's negativity is a little different, and sometimes you don't actually know what could be negative. So we'll start with easy ones. That's usually what happens. Social comparison. And this is when you basically compare yourself to others. Okay? So you want to cut that out. Just cut it out. For now. Because what will tend to happen probably is you might be engaging in what's called upward comparison, where you're comparing yourself to people you perceive as above you or doing better than you, even though that's not really how it works. But in the interest of time and simplicity, just stop social comparison, or at least reduce it. So what does that look like? Auditing your Instagram feed. Audit Instagram. And it could be TikTok too. And it could be Facebook too, but I'm just going to pick on Instagram because it's usually Instagram. So what does that look like? More specifically, if you follow pages about, like if you're a girl and you follow pages regarding like body image, stop following those pages. Unless those pages are from like reputable scientific sources that promote like body positivity and body where there's no, you got to look like this, and if you don't look like this, then you're not doing well. Pages that sort of promote a spectrum of physical appearances instead of just like the one sort of conventional Hollywood attraction. Okay. Drugs and alcohol, remove. Drugs, alcohol, just straight up. Just cut it out. And preferably smoking, like as in like smoking stuff, and it includes vaping. Preferably, if you can cut that out as well. It's just bang, bang, vaping, smoking, and all of those other things that you can smoke. Cut it out, because there is no, most illicit or sort of party drugs, there's no like safe level. There's no safe level of MDMA. There's no safe level of marijuana. Slight caveat there: if it's medical marijuana, it's prescription. There is a safe level, quote unquote. But if it's like non-prescription and it's for like partying purposes or self-exploration, it really should be done under the supervision of like a health professional. So if you're doing MDMA by yourself to explore yourself, ideally you'd stop that and you'd do that under the supervision of a health professional. Okay, so drug use, alcohol use, just cut it out if you are doing that sort of stuff. Remove negative friends. So I'll just go N friends. So I have to write out the whole word. So remove negative friends. If you were engaging with people that tend to make you feel down about your life, remove them, or at least reduce contact. Because how much are they really helping you? You know, if they're just making you feel down, they're not really helping, are you? They're just actually hindering, which can perpetuate the process, right? So reduce contact if it's really hard to just cut them out. Blanket rule. Okay. Now, another one that's a little trickier to remove, but we're gonna cover it, is thoughts. Negative thoughts. Now you could dedicate a whole video to this actually, but one way to mitigate against this, and I'm gonna make that shoehorn into the next one, which is the step 7, which is self-compassion. Now this is a new psychology phenomenon in a way. Like, it's getting a lot of traction in the research, and I can see why, because I've applied it in practice, and I can see that self-compassion is quite literally the opposite of self-degradation or self-hatred. So self-compassion, maybe I have to type this one out, really is treat yourself with the same kindness you'd treat a friend. Okay. Now, you might ask yourself, why bother? I'm a failure. I'm useless. I'm no good. So why should I treat myself with kindness when the actual opposite is true, which is that I'm a failure? And if that's your rationale, I would say that, who said that? Who said that you're a failure? Who said that you're unsuccessful? Who said that you are no good? Did you say that? Okay, so if you said that, that means that you have actually control of your thoughts. It's not that multiple other people have said that, and for the most part, multiple other people will never say that, and if they do, they don't actually mean it. They just, maybe they're going through their own sort of stuff or whatever, right? But if you said that to yourself, then that means that the opposite can occur, and that you can provide self-compassion to yourself. Think about that. If you can provide self-hatred, then you can actually provide self-compassion, because they're thoughts. I don't like myself is one thought, and I think I'm doing all right is another thought. You can quite literally create it right now. So really think about that. You can actually create self-compassion just as quickly, and you also should do it just as quickly as disliking, self-hatred, all that sort of stuff. Replay this section of the video a few times if it doesn't make sense, but I think it should. Self-compassion means effectively to treat yourself with the same kindness you would treat a friend, or to treat yourself with the same kindness you would treat a pet, a dog or a cat or family members. If you treat your cat or dog with kindness, then that same kindness that you would treat them, you'd treat yourself. And you can do it very easily. You just do it. Literally. You literally just do it. You just say, I am doing okay. There's no magic. There's no other. You just say that in your mind. You might have to write it down. Doesn't matter. It's in the head, on the paper. Speak it out loud. That's literally the secret. So self-compassion. And the last one I want to cover that I think would be really useful, so number 8, is time. If you anticipate that you follow the 7 steps and you're going to be suddenly happy in 24 hours, that doesn't look like hours at all, but whatever. That's possible. I don't want to shoot down that idea, but what it really should be seen as is an ongoing journey. Ongoing journey of discovery. I'm going to actually write this whole one out. This is really important. You really want to see it as this ongoing journey of self-discovery, actually. You don't know about yourself until you find out about yourself. And you find out about yourself by going on a journey, by setting a goal, practicing some self-compassion, cutting out negativity, and getting out of bed or getting out more and discovering something new about you. Something new about you. Yeah, that rhymes. Go me. I should have been a writer, right? Not a psychologist. But see it as an ongoing journey. See it as something that will and should, because you want it to, take time. Because you actually want to discover the positives out there in life. They are actually out there, believe me, but you just got to go out and find them. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.